Good morning, everyone. It's a rainy, cold Friday morning here in London. Friday before half term, so it's a good day here, wherever you are. Hope you're doing well. Really glad to have you with us. I thought today we'd just do the last verse from Psalm 13. Psalm 13 is a very beautiful and poignant psalm, but the last verse especially is meaningful. Just verse 6. Va'ani bechasdeka batachti, yageo libi bishuateka, ashira ladonai, ki gamal alai. Why don't you pause the video and practice pronouncing, see how much you can read. Okay, Psalm 13:6. Va'ani bechasdeka batachti. Obviously, we begin with the 1CS pronoun, I, and an initial vav, but this is obviously the adversative vav. But as for me, you get this frequently in the Psalms, showing the transition from lament to trust or something like that. But as for me, David says. Bechasdeka, the great word chesed, with a beit prefix and a 2ms suffix. But as for me, in your loving kindness, batachti, I have trusted. Batach means trust. It's a 1CS cal perfect verb. It's interesting. David puts this in the. He could put this in the imperfect as a continuous present. I am trusting right now. As a perfect, he's expressing it as a complete whole. Perhaps saying that all throughout verses 1 through 5, he's continued to trust. Or you could take this as an instantaneous perfect. I trust right now. An instantaneous perfect is one that. It's like verbs like hate or love or swear or know. As soon as you do it, the action happens. So as for me, in your loving kindness, I trust. Yagel, it's a middle yod verb gil, which means to rejoice. The yod tells you it's a 3ms imperfect. This is actually just a cal with verbs that have a chirik yod. As the middle vowel, in the cal you'll get an a vowel and then the chirik yod, or in this case it's sere. In the cal, this can be a little bit confusing because I try to train students in the hiphil of the imperfect to look for an a vowel and an I vowel. But when the original vowel is an I vowel, then the cal and the hiphil will look similar. So this is just a cal 3ms imperfect. And the subject, of course, is libi, my heart. And we have an imperfect here, so I think it's appropriate to translate as a future. My heart will rejoice. Bishuateka, you can hopefully see hiding inside this noun, Yeshua, the great Jesus verb. The root that Jesus' name is derived from, God's salvation. It's interesting to see the perfect and the imperfect here. David trusts right now. He's not rejoicing yet, but he will rejoice. And it won't be a superficial rejoicing. His heart, his core, deep down, there won't be no part of David's soul that is not rejoicing. And not just because of an upturn in his fortunes. He's going to rejoice in God's salvation. God's salvation means his intervention. When he acts on your behalf within space-time history and does something for you that will never happen in the normal course of human events, that no one can do for you and that you can't do for yourself. That's God's Yeshua. When he does some great act of kindness for you that will never happen on its own, that you can't do for yourself and no one else can do for you. And the Psalms over and over want to say that God doing Yeshua for those who trust him, that's a normal day at the office for him. That's what God is doing every day. And the only condition David has is batach. He just trusts. Third clause, ashira. The verb is shir, as in Shir Shirot, the Song of Songs. It means to sing. It's a 1CS imperfect because of the aleph out front, and the comments hey on the end tells you it's adjussive, not that David is singing, but that he wants to sing. I will sing to the Lord, ki gamal alai, because he has recompensed me. Gamal, just a 3ms Cal perfect verb. It means to recompense or pay back, something like that. Whatever David is going through, whatever losses he suffers, God's going to rebalance the equation in a way that David never could. So that the things he loses that David can never get back, God will recompense him for. 3 separate clauses. It's a beautiful verse. Let's see how much of this I can erase quickly. Just a beautiful verse. The kind of thing that it's good to memorize and say to yourself throughout the day. Va'ani bechasdeka batachti, yagel libi bishuateka, ashira ladonai ki gamal alai. But as for me, I have trusted in your steadfast love. My heart will rejoice in your salvation. I will